If you're thinking about moving to Dallas in 2025, you're in the right place. Today, we're breaking down the biggest pros and cons of making the move so you can decide if Dallas is the right place for you. Dallas has had a reputation for sunshine, barbecue, and affordable housing, but a whole lot has changed over the past few years. Welcome to Goal Line Real Estate, where we keep you updated on all things Dallas. Let's start off with our first pro.
Okay, starting off with one of the biggest reasons people move to Dallas is jobs, and then again, more jobs. You may have heard that the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex has one of the strongest economies in the country. This is still the case, with 24 Fortune 500 companies headquartered here, plus a ton of small businesses and startups. There's no shortage of career opportunities. Industries like tech, healthcare, finance, and energy are thriving, and companies are still relocating here from states like California and New York because of Texas's low taxes and business-friendly environment. Just recently, it was announced that the Chicago location of the New York Stock Exchange will be moving to Dallas and will be a direct competitor to the Texas Stock Exchange. Dallas is quickly earning its title of Wall Street of the South. So if you're job hunting or looking for better opportunities, Dallas is a solid bet.
Now, before you get too excited, let's talk about the first con. One of Dallas's biggest downsides is its traffic. Dallas is a massive metroplex. The DFW Metroplex is actually one of the largest in the US, covering nearly 9,300 square miles. And that means you'll need a car to get almost anywhere. Public transportation options like the Dart Rail exist, but they don't cover much of the Metroplex. And rush hour is absolutely brutal. So if you're commuting from the suburbs into downtown Dallas or Fort Worth, which is what most people do, expect to sit in traffic, especially on highways like I-35 and 635 or the Dallas North Tollway. So while jobs are plentiful, getting to them can be a headache.
Pro number 2 is a major win for your wallet. Texas has no state income tax. This is a big deal, especially if you're moving from a state like California, where income tax can eat up 10% or more of your paycheck. Instead, Texas makes up for it with property taxes and sales tax, but many people still end up saving thousands of dollars per year compared to living in high-tax states. So if you want to keep more of your hard-earned money, Texas is one of the best places to do that.
Yes, and that brings us to con number 2. Some of that extra money you're saving on state income tax goes towards high property tax. Property taxes in Texas are some of the highest in the country. People don't fully understand the significance of this until they get into Texas. The average property tax rate in Texas sits at around 1.8 to 2.3%, depending upon your county. And that means if you buy a $400,000 home, you'd be paying $8,000 to $9,000 per year in property taxes. And unlike income tax, this expense doesn't go away when you retire. But there is good news. If you add a homestead to your property, you'll get some tax relief and protection from steep increases. But overall, if you're a homeowner, property taxes are something to budget for. If you're a high earner, taxes are still far better in Texas than places that have state income tax. But people still experience a good amount of shock the first time they see how much property tax they have to pay for.
Okay, pro number 3. Texas still has reasonably priced real estate. Despite high property taxes, housing in Dallas is still way more affordable than cities like LA, New York, or San Francisco. The median price in Dallas for a home is around $400,000, which is significantly lower than in coastal cities. And if you're open to the suburbs, places like Frisco or McKinney, even Flower Mound, you can get a lot of house for your money. And even if you're renting, Dallas is still relatively affordable compared to other major metros. A one-bedroom apartment averages around $1,500 per month, while in places like Austin or Denver, you're easily looking at $2,000 plus a month. So if homeownership is part of your plan, Dallas gives you more bang for your buck compared to a lot of US coastal cities.
Con number 3, something that everyone knows, it gets hot. If you're moving to Dallas, you better love the heat because summers are brutal. We're talking triple-digit temperatures for weeks at a time, and it's not just hot, it's humid too. So if you're coming from a place with mild weather, expect to spend a lot more time indoors from June to September, unless you have a pool. And let's not forget severe storms and tornadoes. Springtime in Texas can bring massive thunderstorms, hail the size of golf balls, and the occasional tornado warning. While it's just part of life here, it's definitely something that you need to be aware of if you're not used to it. And while I'm not trying to make Dallas sound too bad, it's worth noting that because homes aren't built to handle freezing temperatures, the 1 week out of the year that it goes well below 30 degrees, you have to drip your faucets so you don't risk bursting any pipes.
All right, for pro number 4, let's switch gears and talk about one of my favorite things, Dallas culture and food. Dallas has a great restaurant scene. Of course, Dallas will have its famous Texas barbecue and Tex-Mex restaurants all over the place, and you really can't go wrong with most of them. But also, it has authentic Eastern dishes that you may not have expected. Because Dallas has become so diverse so quickly, you can find Korean, Indian, Vietnamese, and Mediterranean food all over the Metroplex. Beyond food, there's a ton to do. Are you a sports fan? We've got the Cowboys, the Mavs, the Stars, and the Rangers, and a lot of minor league teams as well. You love music? Check out concerts at the American Airlines Center, Toyota Music Factory, or local spots like Deep Ellum. And then for family fun, the Dallas Zoo, the Perot Museum, AT&T Discovery District, and massive parks like Clyde Warren and White Rock Lake that are great for kids and adults alike. So like with every major city in the US, there's always something happening in Dallas.
Con number 4. One of the biggest complaints about Dallas is how spread out everything is. Unlike cities like New York or San Francisco, Dallas isn't very walkable. There are few neighborhoods like Uptown, Deep Ellum, and Bishop Arts where you can get around on foot. But for the most part, you'll need a car to do anything. And oftentimes, you need a car to get to these walkable areas. Even if you live in the suburbs, you'll probably be driving 20 to 30 minutes to get to work, the grocery store, or a restaurant. Walkable suburbs isn't really a concept in the DFW Metroplex. So if you're someone who loves walkability and hates driving, Dallas is not right for you or your vibes. Suburbs, of course, have walking trails, but this isn't the same thing as walking or biking to work and school.
Okay, so we've covered the biggest pros and cons of moving to Dallas. Here's the bottom line. Move to Dallas if you want 1, a booming job market, 2, no state income tax, 3, affordable housing compared to other major cities, and 4, tons of entertainment, food, and sports. Think twice if you don't like traffic, long commutes, and a fast-paced lifestyle, extreme heat and unpredictable weather, high property taxes, or a car-dependent lifestyle.
If you're thinking about moving to the Dallas Metroplex and need help finding the right city, neighborhood, or home, we'd love to help. Drop a comment below and send us a message, and don't forget to like, subscribe for more Dallas real estate content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.